It's January, and if your feed is like mine, you got people talking about goals and resolutions and goal setting. But goal setting actually misses a really important question most of the time, one that comes long before and is foundational. Before we get to that question, though, welcome to Imago Dad. My name is Brandon Wilborn, and here we talk about becoming good men, forming ourselves as fathers, having faith, and using stories to shape who we are so that we can shape our kids. If you like that idea, join me, please. So this question that comes before goal setting is about what kind of man do I need to be? Goals get at what do I want? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to have, maybe? Those are all fun things, and you string a bunch of them together and you might have an interesting life. But what does it matter if you don't have who I am? Who am I becoming? So this first question is why it's so important. Formation is about what kind of man, not just do I want to be, but do I need to be for the people who love me and the people I love. I hope you can see why that question comes first. And I'm got a little inspiration here, accidentally, from reviewing my journals from a couple of years ago. And I asked myself that question, and what came out of it was incredible. But I think even deeper than that, there was a leftover residual concept from Benjamin Franklin, who decided that he wanted to instill 13 virtues and continually get better at those 13 virtues. So he made a journal and he would track himself. He would focus on one every week and he would see if he could get better. And he didn't focus on successes. He tracked failures. If he made a mistake, he would review at the end of the week and say, oh, I made this mistake, that mistake. Here's what I would do better next time. And he hoped that by focusing on those virtues and continually evaluating himself, he could slowly, progressively get better. And that's the way we get better at anything, is practice and review and practice. Franklin's focus on good character and virtue was important. I'm also going after this from a biblical perspective. Goals are great. They're fine to have, but there's this question Jesus asks, what does it profit a man? Or what good is it if you gain the whole world but lose your soul? So I want to do this in a faithful way. Goals may be good, but I ask again, if you get them and you've lost your soul, or you've turned yourself into something that isn't you or isn't good, what's it worth? Man, you've just wrecked not just yourself, but your family potentially. So goal is a fine thing, but character is a better target. And if you focus on the character, it will shape what goals matter to you. The way we treat goals is often like a personal wish list. How can I get better? What are the things I can have? And we ignore the people that matter to us. So I want to flip that a little bit and look at this from that question of what kind of man do I need to be? Because that implies you have responsibilities and duties. And you do, depending on which roles you have. Are you a husband? Are you a father? Do you work for someone else or for yourself? So if you ask that question then, what kind of man does my wife need me to be? What kind of man does my children need me to be? What kind of father do my children need me to be? What kind of man does my boss or my customers need me to be if you're self-employed? What kind of man does my church or my neighbors need me to be? And if you ask those questions, you start to get at something that's closer to stewardship in a biblical model, where you are given finite time and resources, and you have to figure out how best to use them. But your use becomes a blessing to other people who matter to you. And that's when this starts shaping up goal setting as something very, very different than what people usually ask. And it no longer just shapes the things you're going after. starts to reorient who you are and what you care about, so that the things you pursue become things that are important and not just shiny things that you saw some other guy have. I think I'll go this way this time. Let me give you a quick exercise that you can walk through this week to ask these questions for yourself. It's not hard. First, step one, list out the roles you actually have. Maybe you're a husband, maybe you're a father, maybe you are a minister of some sort, a worker, or maybe you're self-employed. Just list them out. Figure out where your responsibilities lie and focus on the ones that matter to you. If you're a brother, but you never talk to your brother, or you have very little contact, that one doesn't matter as much. Not right now. Focus on the most important few. Step two, define faithfulness in that role. So for each role, complete this sentence. And I really encourage you to write this down. As a blank, fill in the role. A good man consistently shows blank. So as a father, a good man consistently shows presence, maybe. You're there, you show up, and you're not distracted. Maybe that's what that means for you. Or maybe it's patience or leadership. As a husband, a good man shows tenderness. Choose your own. Pick the things that you think a good man would do consistently in whatever role you're talking about. Excuse me. And if you're brave enough, first pick one or two words. Don't make it a big long thing. One or two words, maybe a phrase. But if you're brave enough, leave a couple of those in the comments, please. I'll do the same. I want to see what other guys think is valuable and what is good manliness in different roles. Step three, go back through your list of sentences and find the repetitions. Circle them. The ones that show up again and again, those are the things that your perception of what a good man is, it's showing up that those are the virtues that your life currently requires of you. And if that's true, if you really do believe a good man is those things, then you really know your target. You get clear on what kind of man you need to be for your current life situation and the roles you fulfill. And as that good man that you want to be, now you can say, oh, here's how I measure up. These are the things that I need to do to get better at that. And that starts to reinterpret what your goals do and what they're for. So now your goals aren't just keeping up with others. Oh, that guy's got a six-pack. I think I'll work out. And it's not, oh, that guy's got a boat. I think I'll start looking at boats. Now it's about who you are. They're actually tied to your identity. And then the benefit of this is every single goal that you set based on this identity model will have an impact on your life. You're not going to pick something that doesn't matter to that type of guy. So your goals now start to be more narrowly focused on things that will actually have an impact in your day-to-day. And if they have an impact on your day-to-day, small little gains are going to show up much, much faster. Those goals are no longer out there big things. They're no longer vague. And just as importantly, if not more importantly, they impact the people around you. Think about, ask this question. If I became, let's take the father one. If a good father is patient and understands the situation before he makes a judgment call. Let's say he doesn't discipline in anger. All right, if that's my value on that situation, I think that's a good father. Who actually gets the most benefit if I make improvement on that, if I am more faithful? It's my kids. I get a side benefit in that my family is now more peaceful. My wife now sees me not as an angry guy, but as a disciplined and principled guy. So I get a benefit, sure, but the people around me get even more, and that's what matters, I think. All right, what could this actually become? Let me tell you a quick story. When I was first starting seminary, they had us go through similar exercises, except they were focused as a minister on kind of creating a life mission based in your faith and wrapped around your calling towards ministry. I had a unique experience in that I looked at my name, which I always liked the meaning of my name. Brandon means beacon light, like a lighthouse, something that is standing up tall and pointing out both dangers and safe harbor. So you're guiding people, you're giving them direction and clarity. I like that. But then I looked at my middle name. It means gift of God. And then my last name is just the people who were born by the well a long time ago. But when I put those three together from a faith perspective, I got this poetic vision for myself that I want to be a man that lives up to the meaning of my name. I want to be a light to others that guides them. I want to be a gift from God so that by having known me, their life is better. And finally, I want to point them towards the living water from the Savior that I know. And that blessing I got from him, I could splash around in those blessings a little bit and spread around some of that water so that other people could be refreshed. That's the picture I got. You're probably not going to have the exact same thing, but as you look at these virtues of what kind of man is required of you in your roles, you might figure out, here's a sentence that summarizes that, or an image, or a physical reminder that you could carry with you. If you do that, well then, now you've got something that's constantly reminding you when the world gets stressful, when life gets hectic and busy, when the kids are crazy. Wait a second, this is the type of guy I want to be. Not the guy I used to be. This is what I'm aiming at. And when you're aiming at something, you're way more likely to live out what you intend. I just wanted to share, hopefully, reframe a different perspective on goal setting before the year gets into completely full swing. And I wanted to share how great stories can actually start to shape that by giving us good examples, because they're asking usually the same questions about what it takes to be good in the world. What kind of man do I want to be? And we're going to start this year with Beowulf, which definitely asks the questions like, what makes a man worthy for respect and honor in his culture? I did a video previously with that. I probably will redo or revisit that, it's just since I'm a little more clear on it, and ask some other questions and in different videos as we explore Beowulf. And if you want to look at this perspective of stories shaping who you are so that you can shape your kids, I hope you'll like and subscribe. This will become a Substack essay, so there'll be a link there if you want to see a little bit more fully fleshed out thoughts on this, a little bit more polished, and a couple more exercises. Check out that link to my Substack for Imago Dad. And yeah, if you want to follow along, if you want to join me on the reading journey, pick up a copy of Beowulf at your local library, and we'll do it together. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And finally, if you're not planning to do the exercise that I linked up before about asking who your family needs you to be and who your job needs you to be, answer this question below. What is one word that you hope people will use to describe you long after you're gone? I hope to hear from you. I hope to join you. We're all in this together, man. God bless.